and welcome back to my channel, and thank you so much for joining me for day 2 of Riley's Library's 12 Days of Bookmas. Today I'm going to be going through my physical TBR pile with you. It's a long one, so stay tuned to see what books I physically own that I have not read yet. Currently, I am pre-filming this, and I am reading Kingdom of Ash. It's the very beginning of December, and once I finish that, I'm going to do some Christmas reads and just start picking off some of my physical TBR, trying not to buy any more books, but I probably will. I do have some books that yes, I physically own them, but they're at the top of my shelves up here where I have to like stand on a chair or a ladder to get them. And so I'm going to save those books for last and just insert a photo of them so I don't have to like climb up there and get them. So I'll show you all the ones that were like on my cart or low down enough that I could reach them to pull them out for you first, and then I'll show you the ones that are too high up for me to reach currently in a picture format. So let's just hop right into my current TBR. The first book on my TBR is one I bought today while Christmas shopping, and it is Crying in H Mart. I have wanted to read this for a while. It's a memoir. And I haven't really read any memoirs, but I would like to, and I feel like this one is a good one to pick up. There you go. I'm really not going to explain much about these. I'm just going to show you the book and keep moving because there's a lot of them. The next 3 books are books I plan on reading in December, and I plan on having reading vlogs for all 3 of them throughout this 12 days of Bookmas. So the first one is In a Holidays by Christina Lauren. Then we have The 12 Dates of Christmas and A Season for Second Chances. I've never really read any Christmassy romances or Christmas books before, but I really wanted to do it this year. So these are the 3 Christmas books I have for this year, and I'm going to be doing a reading vlog on all of them, so stay tuned for that, but I'm excited. Next we have Crescent City, which I am actually hoping to read this month as well. As soon as I finish Kingdom of Ash. I have been putting this off because I wanted to finish Throne of Glass before I read Crescent City. So here we are. I don't know if I'm ready for this one. We have Red Rising by Pierce Brown. It's a dystopian. I used to love dystopian, so hoping I like this one. Then we have We Hunt the Flame. Don't really even know what it's about, but everyone loves it, so I had to pick it up. And If We Were Villains, I actually almost read this last month and then decided to go back to Throne of Glass instead, but I am very excited for some dark academia. I hear good things about this book. Going for a theme of vampires, we have Crave by Tracy. I actually don't know if I'm gonna like this book the more I think about it, but I bought it for the cheesy Twilight feeling. And look at it. It is literally Twilight on the front, but not really. And we have, going along with that, Midnight Sun. I've read all of the Twilight books. I read them a long time ago. I actually have started this previously, like when it came out, but I wasn't reading again yet, and so I want to start all over from the beginning and actually read this book one day. We have The Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. My friend read almost all of this book and really liked it. I know it's kind of a controversial series. A lot of people start to dislike it later on, but I want to give it a try, and so it's been sitting on my TBR card. Then we have Dune Messiah. If you watched my Dune reading vlog, you know at the end of it I said I probably won't read the rest of these. But then I was really intrigued, and the movie came out and I'm even more intrigued to read this one. And I know this is kind of a bridge between this and the rest of them because it's kind of a time gap before he wrote this book. So eventually I'll get to this. I might read this month because it's so short if I need like a quick in-between read. Just purely because it's short, not because it's an easy read, because this world is heavy. Then we have Daughter of Smoke and Bone. I put this off for a really long time because I hated the old covers, and when they made these pretty new covers, I couldn't resist. So I do plan on reading this eventually. Probably won't read it until I have the whole series in my hands, but currently I have the first book. We have Serpent and Dove. I know everyone and their brother has read this, but I have not. It's been on my shelf for a while now. I will read it eventually. I'm not sure if I'm gonna like it, so I've been putting it off. Then we have Aurora Rising. Again, I know nothing about this book, but it's pretty, and yeah, it's been sitting on my shelf. Probably also won't read it until I have at least the second book in my hand. So yeah. We have A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. If you watched my video yesterday, you know I'm not going to read this until I have the whole series in my hand. And so that's what we've been waiting on. Maybe I'll get them for Christmas and its time will finally come. But I am excited. I really, really have high hopes for this series. We have The Ravens. Ignore if you can see it, the sticker didn't come off well. I still need to work on that. Sorority Girls and Witches. What could be better? Okay. I was gonna read this in October. I didn't get to it. I really didn't read a lot in October at all because I attempted to read it by Stephen King. Got like halfway through it and did not finish. I do plan to finish it eventually, but just not right now. So this never happened, but I really am interested in this story. We have another V. Schwab book, This Savage Song. I really don't want to read this until I have the sequel, Our Dark Duet, so that's why it's been sitting on my TBR. Then we have Game of Thrones. I love this TV show. Okay, and yes, I'm like actually, this is on my TBR, but I'm like halfway through it. I've actually started it, and I do not plan to like restart it to finish it. I just, eventually I'm gonna get there. But right now it's not it. This is too much fantasy for me. Also, I hate that it's the TV show cover. That I despise it, but I bought it like when I was not a reader still. Like I was just living my life, and I was like, huh, I'll read that. Silly of me to assume I could do that. But one day, I also am like, why am I starting a series that's unfinished? Because it may never realistically get finished, but it's on my TBR. We have Truly Devious. I want to read this very soon. I'm kind of in a mystery mood, so hopefully I'll read this series soon. Again, I don't really want to start it if I don't have the rest of the series, but I might have to do that. So we'll see. This one was a book I was really excited about when I bought it. It is Once Upon a Broken Heart. It is the signed copy. I just don't know why I haven't read this yet. I guess I've had other priorities so high up, but I really want to read this soon because I loved the Caraval series and I love Jack. So hopefully this will get off my TBR cart soon. Probably 2022, but we'll see. Next we have the Dream Thieves. I read the Raven Boys a while ago when I was not really an avid reader, but I want to pick this series back up and hopefully finish it because I watched someone do a reading vlog of all of these books a long time ago and was obsessed, and so like I'm reliving that happiness by actually reading them myself. So hopefully I'll get to the rest of the series. I only own this book out of the rest of them currently, but I might get a few more for Christmas. We'll see. We have The Shining, which was supposed to be read in October and it didn't happen, but I do really want to read this book. I may just wait until my friend Larkin wants to read it with me and then we'll do it together. We have The Gilded Wolves. I really want to read this, but I just want the moment to feel right, so I've been putting it off. But it will happen soon, probably sooner than some of these, but The Gilded Wolves. The next two, without a shadow of a doubt, will be read before February. I say that and then it won't happen, but I really want to get back into this world, and that is A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire and A Crown of Gilded Bones. I do have A Shadow in the that is not the name of the book, is it? Shadow in the Ember? The new one that's like not the same characters but the same, they're gonna have like a crossover. I have no idea. It's on my Amazon wish list for Christmas, so if I get that one, I'm gonna feel even more motivated to read these, but I know everyone loves this one. So I am really excited to finally finish this. Well, not finish this because it's an unfinished series, but get caught up with this series. We then have The Two Towers by Jrr Tolkien. It's been on my TBR forever because it took me like a year and a half to read Fellowship of the Ring, and I know this is gonna be difficult for me to get through too. I'm interested in it. It's just very hard to read for me. A lot of descriptions, but I'm gonna do it eventually. We have The Hawthorne Legacy, which is pretty high up on my priority list. I've been wanting to read it because I loved Inheritance Games, and I know there's gonna be another book coming out, so like I have to read it. So I'll do it soon, hopefully. Fingers crossed. We have Kingdom of the Wicked. I bought this a long time ago as well and still have not read it, and then I started seeing people say they didn't like it, but then when I was in Barnes & Noble I also had to buy Kingdom of the Curse because people like this one better, and this is a signed copy, so like I had to buy it. But I'm gonna try to read these soon. I'm starting to get back into some fantasy. I have been in romance and very short standalone kind of a mood, and fantasy has made its entrance back into my life, and so I think I can finally do it and read these two. Hopefully. Okay, so now we're entering the portion where, yes, I have a physical copy of it, but I'm too lazy to get it off my shelf, so I'm just going to show you a picture of the book here. So first we have A Reaper at the Gates. I don't plan to read this until I have A Sky Against a Storm, or The Sky Against a Storm, if that's wrong, sorry. Because I bought the UK editions of these, and when my friend bought her UK edition of the 4th book, it was supposed to be paperback and it came as a hardcover. So I've been putting off buying it, and I'm not reading Reaper at the Gates until I can immediately go into the last book. And so until I can get a UK edition of it correctly, it's going to be on my TBR. We also physically have the Bane Chronicles. I'm like halfway through it. I never finished it. That was from a long time ago. Once I finish that, I want to do Lady Midnight. I have that one, not the rest of the series. And I also have Chain of Gold and Chain of Iron. I need to catch back up on the Shadowhunters books. If you watch my video from day one, you'll know I asked for a couple of them because I'm trying to get my life together so I can read publication order and catch back up. So next we have a couple classics. Jane Eyre. I had planned to read this already this year, and I didn't. And Pride and Prejudice, which I'm obsessed with the movie with Keira Knightley. Chef's kiss, so I have to read this book. I don't know if I'm going to enjoy it, but I'm going to attempt to read it. We also have Salt to the Sea. I was kind of in a historical fiction mood for a while. I read the book Thief and All the Light We Cannot See. This is probably good, so I decided to pick it up, and I haven't read it yet. But once I'm in another historical fiction kind of mood, which usually is in the summer, so maybe not until the summer, but I do want to get to Salt in the Sea. I do love history, so historical fiction is good as well. This one is going to get a lot of hate. Blood of Olympus. I never finished Blood of Olympus. I reread the Percy Jackson series on my TikTok a while ago, and so I plan to reread Heroes of Olympus before I do Blood of Olympus, but it's been on my TBR for like a really hot minute, so hopefully I can get to it. Probably not anytime soon, but I really want to. And I think the last one is The Inheritance of Orchidea Divina. I'm sorry if I butchered that. I actually got that as my last book of the month before I stopped getting book of the months. I want to read it, but I also have no desire to do that anytime soon, so it'll get there when it gets there. That is my entire physical TBR pile. Yikes. I mean, obviously I have things like Prodigy, which is second in the Legend series, but I don't know if I'm going to finish that. Because I'm going to have to reread Legend, because I read that like way back when like Legend was like close to being published. I think Prodigy had just come out. So that was a long time ago. And I know everyone loves Legend, so like maybe that'll happen. Also, like, I never finished the Darkest Mind series, but like don't know if I want to anymore. I liked the first book, loved it when I read it, but like it just feels very high school Riley to me. And I'm not really sure if I like want to go back to those books that were like what I liked in high school, because it's not really like what I like now. But I do have a couple of those that I just can't let go of. I did unhaul some books when I rearranged my bookshelves recently, but still there were ones for memory's sake. I can't get rid of them, even though I haven't read them. Just like all the Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. I read the first 3. The next 2, I didn't read, but they're not necessarily on my TBR list because I don't know if I want to. So yeah. But I hope you enjoyed watching my TBR pile, and hopefully at the end of this month when I do my wrap up for New Year's and like my yearly wrap up and all of that kind of stuff, you will see which one of these I actually got through by the end of December. Hopefully I'll read a good chunk of them. I really need to do it, and I get out for Christmas break and then I'll have a lot of free time to read, and so hopefully I can get through a lot of them. But right now my focus is finishing Kingdom of Ash and not being completely heartbroken. So thank you so much for watching, and I will hopefully see you tomorrow for day 3 of Riley's 12 Days of Bookmas. Merry Christmas, or Happy Holidays if you don't celebrate Christmas. So thank you so much for watching and listening to me rant about my TBR pile. That's so long. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.